Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Today I'm reviewing the Timemore Chestnut S3, a beautifully designed hand grinder that's been getting a lot of love from the pour-over community. It's compact, full metal, and comes with a brand new burr set designed to improve consistency. But how good is it really? And is it also good for espresso? Let's find out. Before we get into the build quality, let's take a quick look at what you actually get in the box. First up, there's a small instruction manual. It gives you the basic info and a quick reference chart for grind settings. Then you get a fabric carrying bag, which is great if you want to travel with the grinder. They also include a small brush for cleaning. And of course the handle. The handle folds magnetically, which makes it more compact and it can be stored even easier. Also, the handle has grind setting tips printed on the inside, which I thought was a nice touch. So you can find your perfect grind level for your preferred brewing method a little bit easier. And finally, we've got the grinder itself, and as soon as you pick it up, you'll notice this thing feels solid. The body is made entirely out of metal, and the build quality is honestly one of the best I've seen at this price point. It has this fluted texture on the sides that gives you a lot of grip. The design is modern and minimal, and everything feels very solid. The folding handle locks into place magnetically, and it folds away neatly when you're done. There's no rattling or loose parts. Every piece fits cleanly, and you get the sense that this hand grinder was really designed to last. Let's take a quick look at how the grind settings work. The grind adjustment ring is located externally, just below the top cap. And this is one of my favorite things about the S3. It's super easy to access, and it clicks cleanly into place with 90 steps total. Each click moves the burrs by 15 microns, so you've got a lot of control, whether you're grinding for V60, AeroPress, or even trying espresso. Once your grind size is set, the workflow is simple. You pour the beans in from the top and start grinding. The grounds fall directly into the catch cup at the bottom, which you can remove with a twist. Super smooth and satisfying. Alright, let's try pulling an espresso shot using the S3 and see how it performs with a finer grind. I start by weighing out 15 grams of coffee, then pour the beans into the top of the grinder. For this shot, I'm using click 5, which is right in the middle of the espresso range on the adjustment dial. Grinding at this setting is actually really smooth. You don't need much strength at all. Even at finer settings like this, it still feels controlled and easy to turn. It took me about 35 seconds to grind the full 15 grams, which is honestly pretty efficient for a hand grinder. Right after grinding, you'll notice there's some static electricity. The grounds cling a little bit to the inside of the catch cup and chute. But if you just wait 20 to 30 seconds, the static settles down, and it's much easier to work with. Then I transfer the coffee into my portafilter. Use my WDT tool to break up any clumps and distribute evenly, and give it a firm, level tamp. I lock in the portafilter and pull the shot. And here's how the extraction looks.
Okay, time to try the espresso. The espresso tastes good. It isn't as rich in body as my Niche Zero, but still you can make very good espresso with it. This espresso is better than the espresso I drank in most cafes, so I guess it's very capable of making great espresso. But espresso is not the reason I bought the Timemore S3. I actually bought it for pour-over coffee, and this is what we try next.
Now let's switch things up and make a pour-over with the S3. First, I boil some filtered water to exactly 94 degrees Celsius. That's my go-to temperature for light to medium roasted coffees. Then, I weigh out 15 grams of coffee, pour them into the grinder, and set the grind to click 60, which is level 6 on the external dial. That's right in the sweet spot for pour-over. Just like before, grinding is super smooth. At this coarser setting, the motion feels even more fluid and consistent. No effort needed. After grinding, I prep the filter by rinsing the paper in my dripper, just to get rid of any papery taste and warm up the cup. I pour the excess water away, and then I add the ground coffee into the dripper and get ready to brew. For the pour, I start with 50 grams of water, just enough to saturate the bed and let it bloom. At about the 30-second mark, I pour in another 50 grams, bringing us to 100 grams. At around 1 minute, I add another 100 grams, going directly up to 200. And finally, after that water draws down, around 150 in, I finish the brew with the last 50 grams of water. That gives me a total of 250 grams of brewed coffee, and the total brew time lands right around 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which should be nice. And here's the final result. Looks very clean and bright.
Okay, now it's time to try the pour over we just made. It smells really good. It's a 100% Arabica, roasted 3 weeks ago, so it should be perfect to drink. That is a very good cup of coffee. I feel like this hand grinder brings out a lot of clarity. You can definitely taste the fruit. The tasting notes of these coffee beans said that it should have a taste of raspberry, strawberry, so a very fruity cup of coffee, and you can definitely taste these flavors. So I can't complain at all. For me, the pour over was a lot better than the espresso. I will definitely finish this cup of coffee now. Cheers everybody!
Cleaning the grinder is super easy. I just use the included brush to wipe off the burrs and the chute right after grinding. Look how clean it looks afterwards. It takes maybe 30 seconds, and I do it after every use just to keep everything nice and clean. Right now, the Timemore S3 sells for around 130 to 150 euros, depending on where you live. For the build quality, the upgraded burr set, and the excellent grind quality, that's actually really competitive. I'd say it hits a sweet spot. It's more refined than entry-level grinders, but way more affordable than premium options like the Kinu M47 or the Comandante C40. Let's talk about the pros and cons quickly. The build quality is exceptional. Fully metal, super grippy, and it feels very solid overall. Grind consistency for pour over is excellent. The external grind level adjustment gives you lots of control. The foldable handle is a cool and handy feature. Espresso grinding is possible, but it's really at the edge of what the grinder is meant to do. It's not ideal for daily espresso use. The coffee has to be very fresh in order to achieve good results. Because of the great build quality and full metal body, the grinder is a bit bigger and heavier than some other hand grinders, so it's not made for ultralight backpacking. So, is the Timemore Chestnut S3 worth it if you're brewing filter coffee, AeroPress, French press, or mocha pot? I think this is one of the best hand grinders in its class right now. It's well designed, consistent, easy to use, and fairly priced. If you're mainly an espresso drinker, maybe not the best fit. But if you want something reliable, good looking, and built to last, the S3 is a fantastic option. Let me know in the comments what hand grinder you're currently using, and if you'd consider switching to this one.
Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye.